Welcome, everybody. Welcome to the second session of the Microsoft Teams Meetings Learning Path. Can I get a show of hands? How many of you were here last session? Perfect. So you have the foundation. You understand kind of like how to get the most effective time out of your Microsoft Teams meetings. And for those of you that weren't here, I encourage you to watch on demand. Let's talk about today's session, objectives. There's two. I want you to come away with a better understanding of what's new and when, as well as I mentioned last session, talk about what we are doing in Microsoft Teams from a quality and reliability perspective. My name is James Skay, and I'm a Senior Product Marketing Manager, and I manage Microsoft Teams meetings. And with me, I have the esteemed...
Hi, folks. I'm Jigar Dani. I'm the PM lead for meetings and media experiences in Teams meetings.
Perfect. So as I mentioned, we're on session 2 of the Meetings Learning Path. So for those of you that weren't here last session, there's some other things to take away. The next session, not here, is going to be the Microsoft Teams Rooms, followed by our meetings first. In fact, I talked to a few folks with questions after the end of last session. Again, Skype for Business server customers who are wondering, okay, when are you going to have all of my enterprise PBX features in Teams? We don't know. I do know. I just can't really share with you. But we do want to enable you to host your meetings in, is that another alert? Let's just get them done now. Maybe someone took their plane off. I just got mine a few seconds before they let up the mics. We want you to be able to utilize the best of Microsoft Teams meetings. And so we've created this configuration called Teams Meetings First. And so people at the booth or Skype to Teams transitions, many experts here to help you with that. And so if you have any questions on that, ton of sessions and even more experts in the booth. So I encourage you to dig in while you're here. It's not just for Skype for Business Online, but Skype for Business server as well. Then last but not least, I talked about Teams live events. And can I get a show of hands? How many of you have used Skype meeting broadcasts or Teams live events? Okay, some of you. How many of you actually host large-scale meetings within your company, like all hands, town halls? Okay. For those of you that aren't using Teams live events, it's a great opportunity. It's included as part of your Office 365 subscription, just as much as Stream is. It allows you to scale up to 10,000 participants, and I talked a little bit about that last session. So let's jump into what's new. For those of you that weren't here last session, I'm just going to quickly splash a few slides. Value prop. Here's how I think you can take value back to your customers and your employees around Microsoft Teams meetings to make it most effective for them. These slides will also be available for download, but feel free to take your pictures. I also talked about the meeting lifecycle last session, specifically how Microsoft Teams was built to make meetings more effective. And we feel that we break a meeting down into 3 components: what happens before, during, and after your meetings to keep them connected. And then this next slide here is how we make it real. There was a couple extra conversations I had after last session, and one person was saying, all I want is a transcript. How do I get the transcript without recording? Another person said, why do I want to cloud record? Cloud recording is like an insurance policy. What if you lost your notebook? I can go back and digitally listen to a meeting, et cetera, and download a transcript if I need to. So with that, let's talk about what's new. So there's been a ton of innovation in Microsoft Teams. And so this slide here is meant to recap kind of like the year of innovation for Microsoft Teams. Starting at the top, you can see some of the features that we launched, beginning with meeting options. Meeting options allow you to classify who's able to bypass the lobby. If you have people from outside your organization joining, you might want to get your internal group together and then admit people as you see fit. I'm going to tie that, I'm going to kind of jump down below. We've actually just updated meeting options with the attendee presenter controls, which I'll demo in just a few moments. In addition, we have live events, GA with live captions, which just talked about. We started our preview for Microsoft Whiteboard in January. Just released the web version as a GA this week. Meeting recording with PowerPoint. I was talking to a couple of you after this last session. For those of you that were using cloud recording in Microsoft Teams, earlier this year, we allowed you to begin to capture PowerPoint. When it first was launched, it didn't create that, or didn't have that functionality. It's there today. Audio conferencing, both from being able to rejoin a meeting, identify active speakers, mobile. I showcased mobile. I'm going to do another mobile demo today, or this session. A lot of mobile. Blur my background. Blur My Background actually has been a huge and profound, had a huge and profound effect on a lot of organizations for people to turn on their video more often. All about them, not what's behind them. And unless you're the BBC reporter who had the kid come into his home office, people want their background blurred. Meetings start in missed meeting nudge. If you missed a meeting or somebody adds you to a meeting and you don't actually join it, you get in your activity feed in a toast, you'll get a notification that says somebody is trying to get you involved. Then for those that are in GCC, we brought meetings, recording, and live events. So that's kind of, that was 10, 11 months ago. But what's shipped in the last quarter, and this is where I'm going to drill in with some demos. Meetings first. I talked about Skype for Business Server. Meetings first is your path to Teams, and it's up to you to control how little or how much you want to take advantage of Teams in addition to your Skype for Business Server. Web meeting, plug-in free video in Chrome and Chrome-based browsers, WebRTC support. Outbound screen sharing in Chrome. Again, I'm going to demo a lot of these. But what I want to call out here is the things coming at the bottom. So I'm going to showcase a lot of these features in an early ring. And rings, not to get technical, but if I'm going to get technical, it's with this crowd. Rings are how we develop software. Like imagine a cloud-based software, right? It's not just something that's shipped and downloaded, but it's an evolving process. So I'm in an earlier ring. So if we see something, two things. Might see something buggy. Sorry, it happens. The second thing is you might see an experience on my device that may not be how it lands with you. So again, just keep that in mind. And so with that, how about we jump into a demo? Let's just start here. So as I mentioned in last session, we have a lot of new features. Oh, that's my iPhone. We have a lot of new features in Teams. And I mentioned the 4 different types of meetings, right? We had scheduled, ad hoc, channel, and live events. Ad hoc is the time you just want to jump straight into a meeting. And one of the features that we had in Skype for Business for the longest time, and we brought it finally over to Microsoft Teams, is Meet Now. Super simple. In your calendar view, click, join Meet Now, title it however you want to. Again, you have your pre-join stage. It's also a great way of inviting somebody from outside your organization. Super easy, join it as simple as including their email address. But I'm going to jump into an existing meeting, and before I jump in, notice that little purple bar. There are already 4 people in this meeting, join muted to be less of an inconvenience. So how many times have you joined a meeting and there's the dog barking? It can be disruptive, and so there's small, subtle things that intelligence pops here and there in the Teams meeting experience. And so we really want you to understand that we built this for the most effective, efficient, and welcoming environment for Teams meeting. So while I'm here, I demoed this last session, Blur. Today in your attendance, you have Blur, Blur My Background. So you'll also notice that we have these background settings over here where I'm able to replace my background with a predefined set of images. I can also upload my own image. That image could be my company logo, it could be my favorite sports team, it could be my favorite vacation destination, or it could be a partner logo, right? If you want to make nice with a prospective customer or business partner, it's a great way of bringing that in. So I also mentioned for remote workers, sometimes if they're working from their bedroom or their home office, it's a great way of creating that professional setting. So I'm going to go ahead and join this meeting, and I'm pretty sure I have some colleagues in here. Hey guys. Oh, looks like we have a South African down here too. Last time it was San Francisco. I'm not sure where they are, but let's talk about some of the other new features that have come to Teams meetings. We see our intelligent caption, our intelligent alerts here. My speakers are muted, and yes, they are. That's to prevent your noise or your ears from having some fun. Let's just say here that I want to highlight Duncan and his excitement around his country. I can right mouse click on this person. Oh, there we go. And I can pin. So Duncan and all his, make sure you get a picture, Duncan. Duncan and all of his glory is featured in this. In addition, if I want to create my own essential custom view of participants, I can also do someone else. For example, I can take Bindu and I can also pin Bindu. I could also, if I wanted to, pin Christy. So you see how you're in control of how you stage your meeting. Currently, we support 2x2. In fact, you've seen us demo many times, 3x3. We're excited that PIN is available, and you can get that now. As part of this, you'll also notice that I have two options. I can say fit to frame, or I can say fill the frame, and we use intelligence to capture your face and where it is. And so if you want to see the whole meeting experience or the whole view of camera, you can actually choose to say fill frame or fit to frame. And I can unpin and take it back to my default setting. I also showcased last session live captions. Live captions make Microsoft Teams meetings inclusive. And when we make Microsoft Teams inclusive, it means that more people's voice is heard, whether or not they're across the table, down the hall, or across the globe. Live captions will be previewing in English and will be rolling out over the next several weeks. We're looking to bring this feature to other languages beginning next year. Another thing that we launched was what we call attendee presenter controls. So there's two ways of configuring this. There's one actually in the meeting experience itself. I can right mouse click or click on the ellipses and choose to make somebody an attendee, or I can do the inverse. Now you'll notice that it's prompting me. An attendee cannot share content. An attendee cannot start a recording. An attendee cannot mute or unmute a participant. So think about how you want to maybe lock down controls if you're having a higher stakes meeting. It's a great option. And again, we prompt you to let you know that you're making a change. Just like I can promote Alan from a participant up to a presenter. Attendees also are unable to remove participants. They essentially can mute and unmute themselves. We can also adjust this, and I'm just going to drop over to my meeting here itself. And in meeting options, you'll notice currently this experience pops out a new window. And it pops out a new window because we wanted to bring this to you quickly. In fact, let me just jump into here. Be Megan, or Adele, sorry. Hello from the other side. We're all thinking it, right? So here I can actually choose who could bypass the lobby. That's here today for you guys. But in addition, I can say who can present. People in my organization, specific people, or only me. So if I say specific people, I can actually start typing. Like Irvin, for example, I can say these are the specific people. Currently, this pops out into a web browser, but just know that this is coming into the product very soon. The other thing that people have been waiting for, can anybody guess what it is? Multi-window. So let's go ahead and pop this meeting out, and it's going to join into a separate window that allows me to continue my meeting and work in the flow of Teams and how I want to and how I see fit. And you'll notice here as I adjust the size of this, it actually adapts based on the intelligence of people and identifying their faces. So hopefully you guys see something that you like, something that's coming. Multi-window will be rolling out early next year. But that's not all. What am I missing? Maybe I need to close this window. Thanks, guys. Actually, stick around because I'm going to join from my mobile device next. OK, let's go and jump over to my mobile device. And notice I'm joining a separate build of Teams, and it's called Canary. So this makes me nervous. So let's cross our fingers and pray to the demo gods. So I'm going to join this meeting here. Now, notice before, if you were here, it prompted me that I was in a meeting already in progress. My main computer is not there, so I'm just going to join this meeting as though I'm here. Now, you'll notice, anyone notice anything different here? Background blur. I can choose to toggle background blur. So here I am. Actually, we'll do it this way. Here I am, and I can choose to toggle background blur. And straight on my iOS device, both from an iPhone and an iPad perspective, background blur is enabled. It's been a heavily requested feature from users because a lot of people today use their iPads as their dedicated Teams app of choice. And so from that perspective, it's been something that is been heavily requested, and we're excited to deliver that. This feature will also be shipping out early next year. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to jump back to my demo machine. And I'm out of it on here. I'm going to join this meeting, and I want to show you guys that toast that appeared at the top of my screen. So now that I'm in on my desktop, I also get this toast at the top that says, meeting's in progress. How about you join it? You want to join it? Sure. I'm going to click join. You'll notice it says add this device or transfer to this device. Transfer is coming soon. This means that you can take that meeting from your mobile or your desktop or your laptop and take it with you on your mobile device and head out the door. I can hit transfer, I can turn on background blur, and I'm off. And here I am. So, yes, right? It's the small things sometimes. Now, let's just say that, and again, I did this last session, so this is a little redundant, but I want to talk about cloud recording. I can't stress for you enough the importance, I think, to me in the meeting lifecycle, how important cloud recording can be. Now, from my mobile device, imagine I left the office and I'm now on a train. I can easily turn cloud recording on super simply by clicking the ellipses and then hitting start record. That easy. I get the prompt. Everyone else in the meeting gets the same prompt as well. Just like I can chat with users. And I think I saw Leo. There we go. Good, good. And in addition, I can choose to upload content from my OneDrive or SharePoint. I can also choose to use my camera as an input into the meeting directly. So that's there. OK, I did that last session. If you want more information you weren't here for, it's on demand. I want to go back to my desktop, and I want to talk about browser experiences on Teams. Not sure many of you are familiar. How many of you have used the web-based version of Teams? How many of you enjoy the web-based version of Teams? We've actually made great strides to make the experience in Teams on the web as easy as it is on your actual desktop. So here I am in Chrome. Yes, Chrome, Google Chrome. And here I'm actually going to join that same meeting that I just left. And I literally just installed this browser 2 minutes before my mic went live. So I haven't set anything up. I haven't downloaded any plugin. And I'm going to join this meeting. Now you'll notice I'm getting prompted. Teams wants to use my microphone and my camera. Do I want to allow it? Now imagine if you were inviting a customer. Modern browser, they just click the join button to come into your meeting, and boom, they come into this experience. And they start. Their video's on by default. They can turn it off. Audio. They can also use no audio. Phone. They can use audio conferencing. They can add a room. Again, this is all built into this web-based experience. So I'm going to join. Now, typically, there was limitations in the past about what I could present. And so at this point, I'm going to, hey, there's Duncan again. I'm going to choose to share my desktop. I think desktop is almost more powerful than showing a file. I can choose to share my, actually, let's give it up for the desktop share. Before, even in Skype for Business, you had to download the lightweight web app in order to make this happen, and you don't have to do it here. We can choose to share the entire desktop, entire screen, a simple window, or in Chrome, we can choose to even share just a particular Chrome tab. And so in this case, I'm going to choose to share my entire screen. So as simple as that, I haven't downloaded any plugins. I joined the meeting on my Chrome browser, and I'm sharing my desktop. Pretty impressive, if you ask me. So let's just say that maybe you invite a customer that does not have a modern web experience or a modern web browser. And so in this case, I'm going to go to my calendar, and I'm going to choose to meet now. And I'm going to meet, I'll play Adele again. So in this case, imagine if I were to invite somebody. Imagine enter the proper address, or I can click the copy information and send it in an email. I'm doing this just to get the link. Whoops. So imagine I'm the customer, and I've copied this link, or I was invited. I'm clicking it from an email. And I join Firefox. Firefox is not currently supported as it relates to Teams meetings, but I can still use Firefox to join my meeting. So you'll notice it knows that I have Teams installed on this machine, so it's suggesting that I download Teams. If I didn't have Teams installed, I wouldn't get this prompt. So it's saying that for the best meeting experience, use Teams app or join in Edge. And that also includes the Edge, the new Chromium version of Edge. Your browser doesn't fully support Teams meetings. Join in Edge, get the Teams app, or you know what? I'm going to join with this browser instead. So notice I click join, and I'm going to jump straight in. How do I want to introduce you? we'll call this and we're going to get a prompt in just a second. It's joined without audio or video. But imagine if I was actually presenting content, and here I will share my calendar. This is the screen. I didn't have to, again, download anything. I can see the content. I can jump straight into the meeting. And again, the downside here is I don't have any audio or video, but what I can do is using audio conferencing, I can dial into the meeting. So it's important if you don't have audio conferencing and you're inviting external guests to join your meetings, that you provide audio conferencing as an option for them. And you'll notice here that it's by default providing a toll number. It's not providing toll free. So I can dial in with this in order to get the service to call me back. So pretty impressive, I think, that we want to make sure that we can connect you with your meeting participants regardless of where they are, regardless of what browser they're using in order to make your meetings more efficient and be able to join with ease. And so with that, the one thing that I didn't share with you was in Chrome, just what we can do for Teams meetings. We can also do for calling. You can use your version of Chrome or an Edge browser to be able to make phone calls. And those can also be video calls as well. So with that, I'm going to go ahead and turn it over to my esteemed colleague, Jigar, who's going to talk about quality.
Thank you, James. Those are going to be some hard demos to follow. Let's try. So again, I'm Jigar Dani. I represent roughly around 200 developers, data scientists, and PMs who obsess over quality. And our mission is to make sure that we enable teams to achieve more no matter what device, what network, and what environment they are on. So taking you guys some time back, when we started on this journey for teams, we wrote down sort of 3 principles that we will abide by and make sure that we deliver the best product in the market. The first was fresh. As soon as we have an improvement, we have coded it up, we want to make sure with one click it is available to most of our users. And today that is the reality. With our engineering systems that we have improved, within a click, we can actually take the improvement and goes to 80%, 90% of our users, assuming it has gone through quality validations. Second was fast feedback. In the past products that we have had, it took us years to get feedback. I know you guys have a lot of channels through your account team, through support, through user voice. Those are all great. But that in-call pop-up that you get, that you can rate this call 1 star, 2 star, 5 star, and tell us, hey, audio didn't work, screen sharing did not work. That comes to us instantaneously, and it is kind of serving as a ground truth of every work that we do. So that brings me to the third principle we had was data-driven. Every improvement that we make, James referenced rings. We have a structure of rolling out every improvement and validating whether those improvements are actually net positive for our users. And those are the starting principles. That's where that has really helped us come to where we are at today. If you were to break this down into our strategy of investment, right, there are 3 big pillars. One is we want to make sure that we can give you the best quality of experience for your audio, video, screen sharing through an intelligent service. That should deliver you even on web, great experience, or on mobile, or on desktop. The second pillar is an intelligent client stack. So while we can solve most of the issues on the service side, there will still be issues on the devices or on the last mile that we still need to be resilient for. So I'm going to spend most of my time today showcasing the 3 areas within this pillar. Either it's a device resiliency, or it is network resiliency, or it is environment resiliency. So we'll have roughly 5 demos. Hopefully they wow you as much as James wowed you. And the third is when we, through our service or our client intelligence, cannot solve the issue for you, we want to make sure that we give you intelligent insights. So one of my colleagues, Suni, she's going to have a session tomorrow at 4 p.m. It's called Advanced Call Quality Dashboard and Reporting. I invite you to go to attend that session. So let's first talk about the service. Microsoft Teams is built on top of Azure. And all of Microsoft products are built on top of Azure. So together, it's one of the biggest service deployment in this world. And we are optimizing the traffic for audio, for screen sharing. We work with Azure so that your audio, video, and screen sharing traffic is optimized throughout that deployment. The promise for Azure network is to be within 30 milliseconds of the last mile of the user. So we can get your traffic into our backend, which is really optimized for audio, video, screen share. That's really helpful for us. But I want to spend the rest of the time on the demos.
Well, actually, Jigar, let's play. let's do a quick myth bust.
Yes.
When people come up to you and say, "I keep hearing, is Microsoft Teams, is it Skype for Business 2.0?" What do you say?
Busted.
Busted. Built in the cloud for the cloud. Skype for Business Online was a great product when we brought it to market. It was actually a server-based software that was ported into the cloud. Microsoft Teams using next generation services, many, many, many services within Azure, all working together, and it is not Skype for Business 2.0. I just want to make sure, and I know we have a room full of believers, but I just want to make sure that people, it's on the record, Microsoft Teams, Microsoft Teams.
So the first demo I'm going to show you is focusing on the device side of issues. In this case, you will see three things. One is how do we increase your confidence as you're getting into the meeting to what device was selected. Then during the meeting, if you were to, say, plug in your most preferred device, how do we intelligently move the choice and move the audio to that device? And then if for some reason that device is failing, we will allow you to continue the call through PSTN. So let's go through this demo. So this is where you can see a device that is being used right now. There's an audio. You can go to Ellipsis, like James mentioned. You can actually see and choose your devices. If I then plug in my preferred device, it will automatically switch to that device. And if I were to, for some reason, plug out, drop coffee, pull the wire, then it will allow you to call back. This has just shipped in the last quarter. So hopefully you guys can try this. Hopefully it really helps you continue their conversations. The call is connected now. The second one, I'm super excited to bring to you. We have a increasingly global and moving workforce. When you're on Wi-Fi and mobile connections, we are seeing packet loss as high as 50%. I'm going to show you two demos, what is the experience today versus what is the experience is going to be in December. And I hope it wows you.
When meeting over a Wi-Fi or cell connection, packets can adversely affect the call experience. In this, configure network to induce a burst loss of 300 milliseconds every 600 milliseconds, corresponding to 50% packet loss.
I saw some of you guys were stressing to really understand what this guy is saying, right? Now let's try this.
When joining meetings over a poor Wi-Fi or cellular connection, high packet loss can adversely affect the call experience. In this demo, we have configured the network to induce a burst loss of 300 milliseconds every 600 milliseconds, corresponding to 50% packet loss.
So hopefully all your conversations, thank you, yes. So whether you're commuting in trains, bad Wi-Fi, bad locations, I really hope this helps. The next demo is when I'm going to show two demos. The first one is even when the quality is degrading and the network is going bad, sometimes you just lose connection. So as that happens, how do we transition immediately from Wi-Fi, or maybe you're just going to your work, you're going through your driveway, you're going in your car or in a commute vehicle, how do we transition quickly? I call this demo Blink and You Will Miss It. So make sure you guys are really focusing, and I hope somebody can count how many seconds it takes. So let's go to the first demo. How many of you missed it? So with this, within near instant, we will get you connected. What I did was, I basically went ahead and turned off my Wi-Fi just to showcase how quickly your video and screen sharing continue to flow. There was no blip at all. Let's try this one more time. Turning off my Wi-Fi soon. And video and screen sharing continues to flow. So hopefully this really helps you in your commute hours. The second demo is in cases where you still are missing and there's just no network, we will allow you to continue this conversation through PSTN. So I'm turning off my LTE as well. And you have a choice to dial in. With one click, with the string attached, you can dial into this meeting. Thank you. All right, so now with that, let's switch to environmental resiliency. This is when you have multiple devices, multiple rooms available, and you've all been in this chamber of echo. Let me turn off. I don't want to disrupt this experience with all that echo that we will see. So we have two demos over here. One is how do we avoid echo, intelligently detecting other meeting rooms that are available. James partly spoke about that, so I'll showcase that. And the second one is, if you were to not choose those options, how can we immediately give you a UFD, user-facing diagnostic, and automatically turn off your microphone and your speakers. So let's go through the first one. So in this case, we have detected there is a meeting that is joined, and we can join with audio off. So no speakers, no microphones. You will completely avoid getting into this howling condition that we referenced. And the second one, you didn't choose that, so let's see what happens.
We've muted this to save your ears from the dreaded howling.
Yes. So at this point, you would be hearing, and immediately within a second, we can detect that there is howling, and we will suppress it. This is also just shipped. So all the demos that you have seen today are impacting significant portion of our users, and that's why they are showcased here. And I really hope you guys can benefit from this for your meetings experiences. And we would love to continue the dialogue on quality. If you have other areas of concern, I would love to hear from you. But with that, I will hand it back to
Awesome.
James.
Thank you, Jigar. Hopefully yes, let's give it up for quality. So hopefully you've seen something either from the what's new section or from the quality section that'll definitely help you understand the investments that we're making in making Teams meetings more effective for you and your organization. So with that, we've checked off the second box from our second session of the learning path. And as I mentioned, our next session, it's not in this room, it's down the way, Microsoft Teams rooms, and a selfless plug for our booth. If you haven't stopped by the Microsoft Teams booth yet, strongly encourage you to do so. Lots of experts here to talk to you. So with that, we'll have a few minutes, actually about 11 minutes. If folks want to come up to a microphone, ask questions, or if you want, we can have an informal dialogue at this stage.
Thank you.
Okay, everybody have a great day and a great Ignite. And if you have any questions, feel free to come up to the stage, and Jigar and I will definitely be able to help you. Thank you.